president has the absolute right to do whatever he wants to do, and I'm not going to comment on that.
Well, but he did say to get some votes. He did say, and we'll look into the way the pardon power is exercised. So he kind of threw all I thought.
Are the same thing because there is nothing he can do about it.
I understand that. I said he was throwing around trying to get those last votes.
Yeah, all right. Judge Sharon Shendla, thank you very much for being here. We appreciate you. Next for us, after MAGA backlash, the president says the...
Any comments, y'all?
Yeah, it's all spin. They're just like all downstream from Trump, and it's all spin, and it's brain rot, and the fact that they have to sit there and try to inverse everything is pathetic. They can't praise or give any accolades or be on Team America. They are the biggest group of complainers and socialist, Democrat, progressive, pluralist, communists. It's sickening, it's anti-American, but it's politically correct. That's all you guys do is create an echo chamber and stir the pot and just piss in it and shit in it and create division and friction and cheer assassination like Charlie Kirk. Your room is disgusting. And the fact that you work for a colonel in the army and you here 40 hours a week creating hate and propaganda, shame on you, Dr. Patty and First Lady, and especially Ban. Ban is a pathetic, progressive, pluralist. That's projection alert. That's projection alert. I'm just trying to say that, as I claimed, it's all spin, it's all bullshit, all the time. God bless Donald Trump. I'm on Team America. Fuck you, liberal, progressive, Democrat, pluralist liars. You're just a bunch of thieves and communists and socialist liars. And you're just a racial identity politician. You just part of clown world, baby. Honk, honk. It's clown world all the time with you people. Go get your clown masks on. Honk, honk. Honk, honk. Honk, honk, honk. Go back to clown world now.
Couple quick things. First of all, I had no objection when Eric Holder, who went to my high school, said that he was President Obama's. I beg your pardon? Yeah, we were.
Who gives a fuck? He went to your high school.
I do. And when he said he was President Obama's wingman, I had no objection.
Well, you're
That's number one. Say again? What? I don't know anybody who had an objection. Also, I was shocked to learn just yesterday that President Biden commuted the sentence of Dylan Roof, the guy who shot up the black church, from a death sentence to life. And I find that utterly bizarre. So when we're looking
at... Do you know why he did that? Do you know why?
Well, I heard the justification. The justification is that he was anxious. That was the attorney who advised Biden to do this. Says although he wasn't a good candidate for clemency, nevertheless he was recommended. Now I am been in the past so far, and I'm not saying that the death penalty in the case of Dylan
terrorism. Hello?
Like Dylan Roof.
I'm gonna go ahead and put it in the chat for you to read.
So I'm sorry.
Never had
So
one lesson.
I think it was recommended that his sentence be lowered to life. I don't know.
I don't know nothing about no recommendation. It says he did not.
I do. I watched the Senate hearing yesterday.
You just said yes, he did, and his article is clearly stating on December 23rd.
Order in the court.
President Biden commuted
Order in the court.
37 of the 40 inmates on federal death row. He did not commute the sentences.
Okay, I have to revise it.
Say it again, did not. What does not mean?
I'm going to check
White
right
House
now.
stated those 3 cases were excluded because they involved terrorism or hate-motivated mass murder.
What does it
So what I'm
mean?
looking is that, hang on. So what I'm looking is that it was recommended that his sentence be commuted.
And he never approved it.
Recommendation, so what?
And then I wear fucking a green dress, and if I want to wear a pink one, I'm not wearing it.
We know one thing for sure, you didn't take no classes with Eric. You and Eric got any classes together, huh?
So Biden's
You were in a
Justice
slow clap.
Department, slow down. Biden's Justice Department recommended that his death sentence be commuted. I can paste it in the chat if you wish, or.
Well, you know, let's wake this up because the last time Kitover came in here, which was, I want to say Memorial Day, he talked about how him and you were working together.
That's a fact.
Politically.
That's a fact.
He said
Somebody
that.
work with John Kitover?
That's a
He said
fact.
you. He said you.
You.
He said you. He said
I have
oh
no
normal.
ability or
You
interest.
said you were directing the film
He
for
said
him.
oh normal.
You were directing the film
And,
for
and
him.
so
never made
the
any
funny
film.
thing was when it was found out in the app that the lifelong Democrat, oh normal,
I'm a lifelong Democrat, yes.
voted for Trump.
Right,
It came out from
Right.
Kitover.
right.
So I
It's
think
secret
that.
No, I don't,
I-
the man.
So I don't say that, but what
Yeah.
I do say is that you have a strange way of showing support and
For who?
basic,
I
Well,
vote for the best man for
just
the
like
job.
you assumed. I'm going to leave it to the audience to assume
I vote for
what
the
I'm
best man
saying.
for the job.
Because we all had an understanding
Yes.
of who exactly
Who exactly what?
the death penalty cases where their sentences were commuted
Yes.
and who were not.
Right, so
And
I have to.
unfortunately, it doesn't seem like you were keeping up with the news back then
Well,
because
I
it was
have
made
to
very
modify-
clear.
Sorry, I
It was
wasn't
made very
listening.
clear
I have to
about who
modify
was
what I
excluded.
said.
And,
So the Justice Department recommended that Ruth's sentence be commuted. So that's my mistake. However, Biden's Justice Department
so
recommended
this is
that
the
Dylan
thing.
Ruth's
So
sentence be commuted.
so you were proven to be wrong instead of
Well, no,
taking it on the
I
chin.
modified what I said. Biden's Justice Department
Well, this is the
recommended
thing.
that Dylan Ruth's sentence be commuted from
Well,
death
now-
penalty to life.
Now we're a year past when this happened,
No, we're not.
and so it doesn't.
No, we're not a year past it.
Yes, we are.
No, we're not.
You know what?
That article.
You're sundowning, Pop Pop.
Say again?
You're sundowning, Pop Pop. It's time for you to go to
I'm
bed.
informing you. I'm teaching you stuff, dearest little girl.
Don't
Sweetie
say
pie.
that. That's rude.
Well, then don't call me Pop Pop, and you won't get called Sweetie Pie and little girl.
Well, this is
Not
not
equivalent.
Go take your Geritol, Norm.
I don't take Geritol. I don't even know what
No,
it
they're not
is.
equivalent.
What's that?
Not equivalent. Don't.
Yes, they're equivalent.
No,
I judge,
they're-
not you, Jane. I judge, not you.
I did judge.
I judge what
I
comes out of my
judged.
mouth.
I judged.
I'm not interested in your
I
judgment.
didn't say a word.
Good.
Great.
I think you should go spend time with your friend Kitover.
He's in Chicago. I'm in New York.
Well, you're Minnesota.
Should have been asking y'all normal. What's going on with you?
Why did you choose to confess to him?
Yeah, how long y'all been dating?
I didn't confess.
Y'all been hanging out with each other.
He's the one that put your name on there.
I don't. It doesn't bother me one bit. He
Kitover
reports
said that
everything.
you were working on a project with him.
What's the project?
That's what Kitover said.
Bring him back in here. Bring him back in.
How long?
This is
How long?
what he said. It's unsolicited.
How long you been getting the Kitover special?
What's the kid over special?
All those cameras.
Oh, I don't know anything about his cameras. I think he has a lot of phones.
You're online, Norm. Trust me, you're online.
Say again?
You
I don't
think
mind
or
being
you
online.
know? You think or you know
I think or I know what?
that he has a lot of phones?
Well, I've seen video of it.
Those phones seeing you up close to person too.
You know,
I don't think so.
Haitian, have you seen video of Kitover? Because I haven't.
Yeah, that motherfucking weirdo. Yeah. Yep.
I haven't seen
No one was in that room.
No,
Is there a documentary?
Yeah, he has his Instagram and all that fun stuff.
I've traveled the
Let's
world
material your
and
documentary
I've been in
material.
some 20 countries, but I have not been to Chicago, although I will go.
You ever been to Chicago? I
So I
guess
haven't gone.
I wouldn't count his fucking basement Chicago either, but
Since I'm on Clubhouse, I have not been to Chicago. Not that I'm opposed to it, but I haven't been. The only time to go is in the summer. It's miserable in the winter.
I can't believe you're in this room, Al. Actually, that's really interesting.
Why not?
I just haven't seen you in this room before. That's interesting, though.
Well, I'm here all the time.
Oh, no,
I'm here every day.
I didn't realize.
I'm here every day.
He comes every day. He comes in the morning usually. And then he
One
makes
evening.
Yeah.
Lisa.
I said you come in the afternoon.
Hey, Patty, I have a question for you.
I swing by.
When you have a chance, I have a question for you.
For who?
For Patty.
Okay, go ahead.
So, Patty, I always wanted to ask you, I mean, the whole testosterone, like, testing, I wanted to see how you felt about that, because apparently they're going to be testing women, the women screening as well. I just wanted to ask you, I don't need it sideswiped, but I wanted to get I'm curious to know what your thoughts are on that. The Pete Hegseth, testosterone screening.
No comment.
No comment, even for women, like, because I guess women are going to be tested as well.
where did you see the woman we're gonna be tested for?
No, it's factual.
No, I'm just asking, where'd you read that at?
Oh no, he put out like a diagram.
Where'd you read that at?
Here, I'll go after him. I'm not gonna go research it. I thought you guys would have known about this.
Oh,
Okay.
yeah, I thought if you knew, you would know what you read it at.
Okay.
So, hey,
Wait, hold on.
I did
Jeez,
hear.
hold on.
Here's that they would test for testosterone.
Hold on.
There, I just.
Yeah, but so see, what's the problem? Well, answer the question. Besides, where you read it from?
Maybe she doesn't remember, sir.
Maybe she can speak for herself. El Normo.
She can, but it's clear.
Just
that
like
she
El
doesn't.
Normo doesn't remember his project with Kitover.
I don't have a project with Kitover. I don't.
That's what Kitover said. He
No, I
said that
think he did.
he said that you guys were potentially going to the White House.
I don't think he said that.
Yes, he did.
Well, bring him in here. Let's see who's telling the truth. Bring him up. Let's not debate about it. Let's get to the truth. I like facts. Bring Kitover up. He's got 10 million accounts. You should be able to get him in on one.
Well, he got kicked out. So
Well, he could come in on another account. He's got he must have 100 accounts.
I got like 50 blocked. So every time he comes with a new account, I just block him. The ones that I know of, at
A
least.
lot of people don't like him. I've come to be ambivalent about him. I think he's just like doing performance art or something.
Okay, let's go back to the clip because I just asked for a comment. Now we're talking about Kitover. All right.
Temporary suspension of most ICE traffic stops is now over. Plus, the hunt for the leaker is on. Some White House officials told Dan. Just 24 hours after the Department of Homeland Security paused ICE vehicle stops, President Trump said, "Not so fast," and he reversed course. The Trump administration has initiated a pause in the wake of 2 deadly ICE shootings, but in a post on social media, Trump said, "We cannot give up one of ICE's most important and effective crime-fighting tools, the traffic stop." So, why the policy whiplash? Well, apparently, Trump became furious after hearing MAGA allies criticize the suspensions. For example, prominent conservative lawyer Mike Davis, who had this message for Trump's new DHS chief.
You work for President Trump. You don't work for Senate Democrats. You don't work for Susan Collins. The American people want illegal aliens the hell out of our country. And not just the worst of the worst, all of them. This guy needs to stop being a wimp. He needs to stop being weak. He needs to stop being stupid. If he's not up to doing the job, get the hell out of his job. We'll put someone there who can.
Anna Navarro is here with us now. It seems like if you listen to the Mike Davises of the world, and I'm sure there are many of them.
I don't.
Not you, but Trump. If Trump listens to them, which it sounds like he does, he would miss what actually happened over the last year, which is that This hyper-aggressive immigration enforcement, the killing of people in the streets, created an enormous backlash that turned an issue that they actually had positive approval on into something that was a negative for the president. So are they just falling into this trap of sort of just feeding the MAGA beast incessantly until, maybe they just kind of have the political consequences are not what they think it's going to be?
Well, I think it's two things. I think it is feeding the MAGA beast, as you say, but I also think that it's going along with Trump's policy of not ceding an inch when it comes to immigration policy, even if that immigration policy is not effective. It is effective in killing people, in killing innocent people. In both the cases that happened within the last week, he's calling it, Trump calls it one of the most effective tools they have. I would say that it's incredibly ineffective, not only because ICE is ending up executing people, but they're executing the wrong people. They have targets.
Executing the wrong people? They should be executing other people?
The people in the cars. The person in Maine, Juan Sebastian Guerrero, had a work permit, which means that he's got to have been in this country under some legal color of law. You don't have a social security number and a work permit unless you have legal status to be, it could be temporary, but legal status to be in this country. So if you are killing people that are the wrong targets, some of whom are here with some legal status, it's not effective. And I also think it's not good when Donald Trump is coming in and telling people who are supposed to be more of experts on this particular field how they have to do their jobs.
So apparently Trump was, according to our reporting, caught off guard. He was not told by Mark Wayne Mullen, the DHS secretary, or Tom Homan, the border czar, about the pause in traffic stops. And now Mark Wayne Mullen is backtracking, saying President Trump and I are on the same page. But again, Chair Michael, I mean, if we look at what happened here, you look at what has been happening with these traffic stops, which are extremely dangerous on both sides, isn't the right policy to pause and evaluate the practice?
Well, look, the immigration policy has been effective in one vein, but then there's a lot of concern as it pertains to people being shot and killed, particularly people who shouldn't have been stopped at all, at least according to this particular instance. Now, I watched Homan on, I think, Fox News.
People shouldn't have been stopped at all in this particular instance.
And he made a pretty reasonable argument, which was the reason you pause this temporarily is to reassess the training. The Federal Law Enforcement Training Center down in South Georgia, I don't believe, at least from some of the folks I've talked to, that ICE agents are typically trained for local stops, like police officers. And so if you're going to pause this and reassess, you should do that and figure out how you increase that level of training so that they can carry on with their duties to keep them safe, but also the individuals that they're encountering in the streets. And so just tactically, I'm not opposed to that, and I think to consider that makes a lot of sense so that the progress of this can avoid these types of incidents going forward. And then again, look, we're in an election coming up. I understand what Mike Davis is concerned with as a radio host, but as a strategist, I have to be concerned with numbers. And we want to add to our coalition and not subtract. So when I'm looking at independence, I have to look at some of the factors that suggest to me that maybe some of this turns them off. And what does that mean for some of our vulnerable Republicans, like in the House? So that's the way I'm
like Susan Collins. I mean, this is happening in a place where they have a competitive Senate race. Okay, it's not like a hypothetical thing. Susan Collins is in a fight for her life right now. That's why she tried to take credit for the pause yesterday, and now they leave her hanging. This seems like the worst politics. I mean, let me play. This is Nirav Shah, who is running to replace Susan Collins as a Democratic Senate candidate in Maine. Listen.
Senator Collins likes to tell Mainers that she is a leader with the unique standing to pick up the phone, provide oversight, and fix things. But her record tells a completely different story. The truth is, Senator Collins is never going to hold ICE accountable because she is the one being wrong. There is a straight line between from Senator Collins to the tragedy that we saw yesterday.
Trump threw her under the bus today.
A couple things. So one, I think the knee-jerk reaction
reaction we're seeing from him and some of the other candidates to basically call ICE a rogue agency, I don't think that that's going to gain traction either, because we saw this similar sort of vein in 2020 where the backlash to a few disturbing incidents was to say, let's defund the police. That didn't go over. And so I think in the same way, the side that the left is taking is also going to have backlash. And people do want ICE. They don't want to see ICE abolished. And so I think the left is going further and further in a way that actually will alienate voters. One other point that I think Trump feels very keenly, and folks in his administration, is he was elected to do this. He was elected because people wanted deportations. And I think it's important when we talk about this issue to provide the context, because they see every day that passes, if we aren't deporting potentially unvetted illegal criminals, there's an opportunity. Every single day. Last week there was permit to buy in the country, and he was not allowed. And over 70% of the people that are getting deported. And my point is that I'm not a criminal record. So be careful with your words and be accurate. My point is that you're lying. I'm not lying. You're lying. My point is that the man had a permanent, had a legal status here. He was not on vetting. So we don't. No, you lied.
Let me just clear this up. In the two cases that we're talking about here, you have one individual who had no criminal record, who had been in the country 35 years, had never had an interaction with law enforcement, and he was not the target. In Maine, you had somebody, we actually don't know what his immigration status was, but we do know that he had a work permit and he had a social security.
I understand, and that is a triumph.
And Anna is correct that most of the arrests that are being made are people who do not have criminal records.
I understand that. My point, though, is that there is an opportunity cost.
Not
Last
fully
week, there was a
accurate.
trooper in Pennsylvania who was killed by somebody who had a commercial driver's license who didn't speak English. Every day there's something that happens to Americans. And so the administration is looking at that bigger picture. They're looking at the context.
This is
and
the
they're
thing I
realizing
don't understand is what is
prioritize
this collective punishment thing that keeps coming up every time we talk about immigration? Why is it that someone else's crimes are the responsibility of other people who did not commit
They're unvetted.
But to Anna's point, they weren't unvetted. And that's the point. These are people that are here. I think you don't actually understand the process that someone has to go through when they come and immigrate or apply
A lot of
for
people
work
didn't go
status.
through that process.
So here's the thing, but we're talking about an individual who work permit, that man has been vetted. If they had a work permit, that means that he had a political asylum claim pending, or he had some sort of claim pending, a residency, something was pending if he had a legal, work permit. You don't give
But you know
work
what's not
permits to
gonna change?
people who are here
What's
illegally.
It's not going to go away. They're going to continue to do the job. So back to my original point, focusing on the training is incredibly important here. And I understand some people have been inappropriately targeted. I do not negate those facts, but they're not disappearing. So what the hell is a resolution here?
I'm gonna let Charles have a word here because, yeah, there is a training issue, but there's also a widely reported quota that has been put into place that has increased pressure on these ICE and Border Patrol officers. They have flooded the streets with people, some of whom are new to these agencies, who are doing tactics that they really shouldn't be doing, that are actually against DHS policy. But it doesn't matter because the most important thing are the numbers, to Stephen Miller at least.
Right, but both you and Lydia brought up this idea of doing away with ICE. No one is suggesting that. I want to finish it.
Some people are suggesting
but the stop was not put in place by someone who wanted to get rid of ICE. He's running ICE. He just said, let's pause for a second.
Which is what I just said.
If you let me finish, I would let you know what I'm saying.
All right, brother.
Let's not
deal with craziness already. Let's calm down.
Just let him finish his
So what I'm saying is the president simply can't take away. The numbers of people who have been detained have been going
down significantly.
No, I'm not about
Michael, please, let him
All right.
Yeah, Michael dude is getting on my fucking nerves, and he's like, he is pushing me to fuck off. He keeps interrupting the other speakers. It's ridiculous. Hold on.
So a temporary pause would not have harmed
Democrats
That's
can't even understand what he's trying to say.
It's an update
Go
because
ahead.
he can't seem to stop talking.
Just go ahead, Charles.
What I'm trying to say is this. A temporary pause wouldn't harm them at all, but Trump is so invested in the optics of looking tough rather than actually doing the job that he wants to do, which is to get rid of more, which is not something that I'm in favor of, because they are so tilted towards people who are not dangerous, they're not criminals other than having been in the country illegally. This whole worst of the worst thing is a complete farce. And the radio host that we just played said that. They don't care about the worst anymore. Every single person. And what the president didn't do was acknowledge those deaths at all.
So, Charlie,
These people are collateral damage in this war.
would you see the point of pausing temporarily for further training?
Let me
That's what I said to you.
Let me read this viewer comment that we just got in from CNN.com/Abby. This person says, people elected Trump for more deportations, but not by any means necessary, especially violent means. I actually think this comment really hits the nail on the head, because when you there's a lot of polling that says a lot of different things. When you really drill down on what the broad strokes of it are, that Americans didn't like what was happening in the Biden administration. They didn't like the perceived open borders, laissez-faire immigration policy. They wanted more enforcement, but they really recoiled at the mass deportations, the spectacle on the streets of American cities, and particularly when things got to Minneapolis. The backlash was huge, and I don't remember who said it, but Trump actually did back down. Don't forget that. He backed down after Minneapolis because he saw the same polls that we were looking at.
Well, I think this is, that comment hits home because this was the reason why, one of the reasons, many reasons why Donald Trump came in, and it was a focal point of his campaign that we are going to focus on immigration, but the means on how you do that and how you execute the mission really matter. And I think to what Lydia and Jermichael also were saying about this idea of training, I know there are people on the left that suggest that, ICE does not have a role or should get rid of ICE. I don't believe that. I do think ICE has a role to play, but you have to have properly trained and equipped agents, and stopping someone in a car and shooting them through the passenger window while they have a child in the back is not part of the training. And I can tell you that it is not part of any enforcement training. So I think, the president to reverse this pause is going to backfire on him. And you do have a very critical Senate race in Maine, and now Susan Collins yet again is on her back foot.
And let's also remember that some of the people who've been killed by ICE in these confrontations, these vehicular confrontations and shot by ICE, some of whom have not died, are U.S. citizens.
Yeah. All right. Now turn over your.
Moving on. Any comments, y'all?
Yeah, who was that bitch they talking to?
I don't know. She's young. I've never known.
They got
Yeah, she.
trying to get up like fucking watching white shit.
Yeah, she didn't even know what the fuck she was talking about. That's the shit that's worse. She just said illegal. The guy he had a work permit and a social security number. I don't know how illegal he was.
So, hey, Patty, have you heard of I don't know, I just got a glimpse of it yesterday, I believe, on, we can't remember what network, but the pretty much involuntary homeless camp in Utah.
The what?
Apparently, there's a place in Utah. I mean, I I don't have any verification on this whatsoever. But has anybody else heard of it? There's apparently a facility in Utah that people are being houseless people are being mandatorily shipped to, and they're involuntarily.
What do you mean involuntary shit? Were they caught by ICE?
They don't want to be there, but they're being forced to go there.
Were they caught by ICE?
I don't know. I was just asking if anybody else had heard of it. I'm not too sure.
They were caught by ICE. Maybe that's the only available facility for them to be housed at. I don't know. If you're talking about an ICE facility, is it an ICE facility?
No, I don't think it's an ICE facility. It's just generally for people who are disheveled or homeless or suffering severe poverty, maybe mental problems.
Oh, so you're talking about there's a facility. It's funded by the federal government?
I think he's talking about when Stephen Miller was trying to do somebody. You know, Stephen Miller was trying to get people indigent off the streets.
I haven't heard about that.
Yeah,
You know, so there's not a place that I heard of. What I'm saying, because you say it's kind of vague what you say, Stephen. So, are you referencing what Stephen Miller was trying to propose?
I think that's what he's referencing, but he's
talking about a place in Utah.
And I just added a link to Tom Holman spoke on Face the Nation on YouTube. I just added it if you guys are interested. I don't know if you guys heard it, but he spoke this morning on Face the Nation.
Okay, I'll play it after we're done with this. Okay, babe.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you.
No, never mind. Thank you. Nobody else is better than it. Cool. Thanks. Love you.
No problem, Stephen. Any comments, y'all?
Yeah, that shit's absolutely batshit crazy.
Hey, Eddie Ed.
How's it going? I have a comment with something. Where we're finished.
Go ahead, you can comment.
These political decisions that Trump is making, I just do not understand. He really did throw her under a bus, Susan Collins. It's like he's the South.
He's gonna bring the whole party down. If he's not gonna win, he's gonna bring it.
Hey, let him finish. It's like he's decided that he's just not going to win the midterms and just resolved on that. Granted, he's not a great legislator in the first place, but it just, I don't know, it really doesn't make sense at all. Just really weird decision. But go ahead, see, you can go.
You have a really good point. I've been saying this for quite a while, and so I don't know if you ever, Anthony Scaramucci, but he says the same thing as well. That he's so power ego, he's so lonely, and he is so hungry for power and money that if he doesn't win, then he'll bring MAGA down. And this is what I said the other day. It's like I'm worried because I sense that he's going to get more erratic up until the midterms, and he's not going to win. And then after that, it's going to be really bad. He's going to do some crazy shit because he is so power hungry, and he's literally going to bring down. It's basically like he wants Gavin Newsom to be the next president because if he can't keep the power, he's going to bring the whole party down because he's such a selfish person in life. It's so sad.
I'm going to offer a different view. I think Trump, and if not Trump himself, then the people around him realize the big picture is the most important thing is that the next president is a Republican. Because if the next president is a Democrat, then they will be investigating Trump for the rest of his life. He'll be in litigation for the rest of his life. I mean, even if he pardons himself and pardons everyone who ever worked for him, because Biden did set that precedent by pardoning his own son. So now Trump can pardon everyone he possibly can. Even if he does, he will be investigated by state attorney generals for the rest of his life. He knows the big picture. The big picture is, it's one thing to lose midterms, but God forbid Gavin Newsom is the next president, Trump will be spending the rest of his life defending himself from lawsuits. What we saw happen in 2020, where he was sued in 30 different places for election fraud, will be nothing compared to what could happen in 2029. So
I'm a lifelong Democrat, and the only part I can agree with you on is God forbid Gavin Newsom be fucking president. I am also a Californian. And if you're talking about a corrupt motherfucker from the pits of fucking hell itself, welcome to Gavin Newsom. Come to California. It's fucking torture.
basically,
He's a bit of a meth right now.
yeah, exactly. That's why I don't think Gavin Newsom can be president based on all the tragedies that have happened in California in the last while he was governor. I mean, starting with the net.
Come on, Randy. Lineage. Do I really need to say?
Let's go back to Trump though.
Weren't you a Democrat?
What does that have to do with anything?
how you become so
Randy,
different.
could you explain how his current decision making would help the Republicans keep the
That
president?
Trump though, he's gonna do everything.
Wait.
He's gonna do everything to win, and if he will bring down the party if he doesn't keep the power.
I wanted to hear Randy's opinion
Because
on
he's gonna actually blame
I don't know.
That's the whole thing. He's gonna bring them down with them. He is, and that's why he's actually holding JD. He's gonna.
God, Jack.
See him doing that.
See, let him, he asked him a question, let him answer that question real quick, okay, babe? Go
I
ahead.
don't have an answer for you. I don't even know, when you say his current decision making, what decision are you referring to that you think, are you referring to?
You said earlier that Trump's key decision at this point, or key motive at this point,
Right,
is to make sure that the next president is Republican.
right.
And I said, how is his current thinking and or decision making helping that end?
Well, what decision do you think he's made that does not help that end? I mean, the Iran war, is that where you want to go?
That doesn't seem to help his end.
Well, I think he's
I don't.
He's walking a tightrope right now. He can't be seen as letting Iran win. It's not a good sign to the rest of the world if America can't even win against Iran. That tells China and Russia that it's fair game to do whatever you want because the U.S. is afraid to sustain casualties and would rather retreat than sustain casualties. So he's playing it through, but
You're not answering Ed's question though.
because I don't know what he's referring to.
I think
What decision do you think that Trump is making? What decision is he making that's leading him, that would lose him the election?
What is he doing to make you feel confident that he wants to make sure that someone in the MAGA party is going to be the vice president? What actions has he taken? What is he doing to ensure
Well,
that his party doesn't stay in
I think
place?
he's building up both Vance and Rubio, and as Vance, now that we're seeing daylight between Vance and Trump, I think he's promoting Rubio. I think he's set up Rubio to be the next president.
I agree with that.
Agree.
I mean, Rubio was just showing himself to be intensely qualified.
Yeah. In other words, what we have is never really quite happened here, that we have a VP who would normally be next in line to be president, and like Clinton, Gore, and all the other times, and instead we're seeing, Trump propping up Marco Rubio now.
It's not unlike what Obama did, though.
With
With
who?
who?
Secretary of State Hillary Clinton.
I don't believe that he wanted. I mean, he stayed above it. I don't think he actively promoted her over Biden.
There was acrimony between them because of 2008 when Clinton was. He said that it was a, what do you call it, a Jesse Jackson pipe dream?
My point is there was no precedent, that's all. You guys are acting like it's unheard of.
Okay,
That's not the point. The point
That
is
was my point, yes.
yeah, I don't really want to die on this hill either. I just, I mean, you're asking me to prove negative. You're asking me, what steps is he taking?
No, I
just don't.
wanted you to follow through one of your train of thought.
My train of thought is he definitely wants a Republican to win in 2028. He must. I'll say it again. If a Republican does not win, he and his family will be in litigation for the rest of their life.
I think the Republicans are going to run on. The Democrats are crazy, transgender communists.
I think he wants to
DSA.
stay in power.
Agree.
I think he wants.
That's what the
I think
Republicans
he wants.
will run on.
I think Trump wants to stay in power.
And do you mean with the third term?
I do. I really do.
Yeah, he would love to, but I
No,
don't see that happening.
honestly, I think really I think that's it. I mean, he's such a selfish motherfucker. I don't see him endorsing. I think Rubio and JD Vance are giving him the shit show. JD Vance was on, Joe Rogan. I don't know if you saw that. I mean, he was basically it's kind of like really.
He sounds like an idiot.
But he's giving them all these jobs that are shitty jobs. Here, JD Vance, go deal with this war that I started. Here, I'll blame you, but I'll take credit if it works out.
Right. Listen, he's probably spoken to his lawyers and said, give me any scenario where I can hang around for a third term. And they've told him it can't be done. I don't see him, he hasn't begun to do a constitutional amendment saying he can saying that he can be president for a third time. I mean, that's what everybody said last time when he lost, that he won't turn over power. Well, at the end of the day, he did turn over power.
Yeah, but that's not to say he's not going to be a big baby and wreck the room before he goes.
I think that's what the slush fund is about. I think he's creating his own army. I think he's trying to. I think he's going to create a civil war. I think he might with this whole election shit. I mean, if we're not there yet, and hopefully we won't be there, but I think, he's so erratic and he's getting old and he, he should be worried. I mean, and his family. I mean, this whole slush fund, they're trying to get the IRS taxes immunity because they know they profited and made a shitload of money. And that's why they did this. And that's fraud on the court, never been done before. And it's never been done by a president. And that is bullshit. And his personal attorney is now going to be put in place as our
Take a breath, kid. Take a breath.
You've got
Breathe, sister, breathe.
I've ever heard.
Nah, see, don't stop. See, come on, keep going. See.
No. I agree with you. Just please breathe, darling.
Yeah. Todd Lance is really bad. He lives with oil. They treated the. It's really bad. Todd Lance. That's his personal. He's been Michael Cohen. He's Michael Cohen White House for Trump.
All right.
That's what he is. I'm calm, but I'm just saying, you guys, I don't know if you watched all this shit, but that's fraud that if we break our judicial system, we're fucked.
Okay.
Steve. Nobody's breaking anything. Everybody's just exposing the fractures.
Let me land. If Todd Lance becomes the Attorney General, I am concerned about America because that could change the course because our judicial system will break down. So that's why I bring this up, and it does make me concerned because if Todd Lance is Attorney General, his personal attorney, it's basically Trump's family attorney.
The Attorney General does not run the judicial system, see? Thank you.
Yeah,
Separate branch of government.
When you can actually set up immunity for his family, and not only Trump's family, it's
I thought you were gonna land. I thought you were gonna land.
Right.
and a $10.8 billion trust fund, he's going to create his own army. He's not going to leave the White House.
Oh my God.
I'm not
Stop.
I don't think he wants to leave. I don't think he's going to go.
See, you keep going.
See, there are plenty of well-armed Americans that don't believe in Trump and will not let that happen. Chill the fuck out. If it happens, it happens. So be it. If it happens, it happens. So be it. But getting all hyped up over it and giving yourself a heart attack isn't going to do you no good.
TBS on high alert here.
Okay, y'all. So the only reason why we're open this late is because Lisa has something to do tonight, and her mods are gonna be modded, and it's almost 11:30. So
I hope
around
it's a
12
date.
o'clock.
I hope she's on a date.
Okay, around 12 o'clock, she has crazies that come in. I guess they're coming in here tonight. Thank you, Michael Craig, Haitian.
Yo, so that back up? Got back up? You know how to back up?
Michael Craig, Haitian, in Florida, because those are her mods. Mm-hmm. Okay, so let me go back to the clip, y'all. We're gonna finish this Abby Phillips, and then there's another discussion. So I'm playing.
Oh my God! Please don't play those.
Well,
They're so bad.
Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh.
Well, he gives us some things to talk about, Pat.
Investigators, that is the order that some White House officials are now facing as the search for the source of the Air Force One leak is now on. We'll be right back. Tonight, show us your phone. A request coming from the White House Chief of Staff, Susie Wiles, and the FBI Director Kash Patel, who personally orchestrated a leak investigation last week at the White House. CNN reports that the investigation was aimed at determining who in the government leaked information about this out. The person who brought this whole thing to everyone's attention was Donald Trump. He was the first person at 8:42 a.m. on July 8th to send out a Truth Social post that says, "For old time's sake, I will be taking the old Air Force One from Turkey to Mildenhall," and he says the new Air Force One is going to go ahead. So he touched off this whole squash these subpoenas of its journalists. But yeah, you're right, Charles. I mean, he's not the first president. He's probably not even the president who's used the subpoena power the most. But I think the part of this that is so just interesting and very Trumpian is that he's embarrassed about the plane. He rushed a $400 million retrofit of a plane, and it wasn't ready for prime time, and now he's embarrassed. And that's what this is about.
He's not only embarrassed, I mean, the plane was never going to be secure enough to allow the time that it would need to retrofit it completely. I mean, the comm system that goes into Air Force One, the evasion systems that it has on board, that's just not going to be possible to install. And so the president, while he was really proud about touting this plane, he totally was embarrassed. And that's why he's cracking down and trying to figure out the leaks of where this all came from. But the reality is that there's so many people that are involved in what it takes to have Air Force One take off, from the advanced staff on the ground to people in the White House to the military. It can come from anywhere, and it's something probably as small as the plane's just not secure, and then it becomes, a story that is widely reported. And so I share Charles's concern about crackdown of press freedoms. We certainly dealt with leaks in the Biden White House and the Biden administration that were concerning and sometimes dealt with issues of national security, but you can't clamp down on freedom of the press either.
I think Charles is right about most presidents just not wanting to deal with leaks to the press. And I remember the Obama administration was incredibly aggressive. And I understand why. And for me, I don't know where I land on this, because in one vein, I don't want national security issues being printed or written about. But on your show, when we first talked about this plane, that was my biggest reason to be against it, because I was worried about the president's safety on a plane from the Qataris. I don't know what the hell is going on with Boeing. It's taking them way too long to finish these planes.
Isn't this actually to Boeing's in defense? They have to
I guess somewhat
secure. They can't cut corners.
They're behind.
But that's the point, is that it is not an easy thing to do. It takes time.
It does.
Yeah, there are going to be delays, but Trump wants a quick fix. And yeah, I mean, I think that actually there is a strong argument to be made that it is in the public interest to know.
Well,
What's the line?
There are presidents on this plane, right? If there are going to be presidents on this plane, and they want to make it seem like the plane is safe, but the plane is not safe. There's
two things. One, it strikes me that this White House is taking far more consequences to find out who leaked the information about this plane, which I feel like, to your point, Donald Trump blabbed all about, than they did with Signalgate, for example, which to me seems like a far more serious concern of national security. And also, it's Trump who told us he wasn't going to be on the new Air Force One. It's Trump who told us the Israelis had told them that the Iranians were targeting him. It's Trump who can't shut up about being the #1 target of the Iranians. So maybe somebody should go look at his phone and his mouth.
All right. I wasn't there. Next for us, the Secretary of Defense has a new message for the military troops who are
Any comments, y'all, on this staying on the Trump plane?
I don't think prosecution's going to go anywhere. I mean, one can easily deduce that there was a security issue with the plane. It's like it wasn't rocket science.
Yeah, we
Thank Israel for pointing it out to him and protecting his life.
That's a consequence of his.
Israel had to point it out to him, and we all did.
Israel informed him that there was a serious threat on his life, and that's what resulted in his changing planes. That was when he was in NATO a week and a half ago in Ankara, at the NATO meeting in Ankara, Turkey.
So,
I got a comment too.
go ahead.
Yeah, it's more just the overall about Trump. Trump he behaves like a petulant child, and he's literally too immature to be a world leader. And the way that he carries himself, Fred Trump must have never disciplined him. The fact that we've been talking about this kind of stuff, the boy from Qatar, he want to use his new plane, and he was just going to use this plane, and he doesn't care anything about anything. He's just going to use his plane like a spoiled, petulant, bratty-ass child. It's just ridiculous that we're having these conversations about the president of the United States. Anyway, that's all I want to say.
Well, Michael, he is like like a petulant child for sure, but his father did send him to military school as a punishment.
Yeah, he got in trouble in school. But
hold on for a second, Norm. It was said, Mary Trump reported, and it's like the reports are that after he threw rocks at a baby, at an infant, or whatever, and then he went to military school sometime after that. I doubt that Fred ever laid like hand to ass or belt to ass on him. He doesn't behave like anyone who's ever disciplined.
Some people consider that child abuse, Michael, and I would not trust anybody's unverified reports of anything.
Back in the 60s and 70s, it was considered child. Well, I mean, even before then, what, like the 50s? So when was Trump born? Goddamn, he's what, 80 years old? Back in the 50s and 60s, it would have been fucking child abuse to spank him.
My parents spanked the shit out of me.
Change your morals because going back a few years, I would.
What? You have to reconsider
Yes
what
or no,
were
did your
the
parents
morals and
spank you?
what were the norms back then, right? Like it was obviously not good child abuse to be smacking a child around in the 50s and 60s.
Did your parents spank you? Because I'll admit it, my parents spanked the shit out of me.
Yeah.
Hey, come on.
And I loved them. I love them, by the way. But they did do that.
Welcome to you. Look, you know your parents whooped you if you lived in certain households. Like, I know my grandmother didn't need a belt. My grandmother was 6'3". You know, if she punched you, she didn't punch you, but hit you with the flat part of her hand, that hurts. She's 6'3". You know what I'm saying? Almost 200 pounds. Ain't nobody trying to be hit by nothing like that. I know I didn't. She need no extension cord. You get something real bad, you may get okay, you go outside and you break off a switch, you do, but it's gotta be bad, like something like skipping school or ending up in jail. My mother just didn't whoop you just cause. And she told you why right before that. Don't go to jail, don't do these things. So I don't think that whooping for certain things is bad. If you're abusing or doing something out of context, that is not right. My mother never abused us or punched us or hit us in the face or nothing like that. My grandmother didn't do that. She hit us on our butt, you know what I mean? She didn't punch us, so there was some discipline, but she also said why she, and some parents don't do that. Go ahead, I'm sorry.
No, you're good. I just want to keep on the truck. My point being that Trump acts like a person that was never there. Yeah, no, you're fine. Trump acts like a person that was never there. He also acts like a person that's never been in a sense like Trump does act like a bitchy, pretty ass child, and that's how he behaves as a world leader. We're in a bad predicament, and like I say, it's like there was some stuff that wasn't taken even this way, and when this went by his father, that's what.
Not everybody thinks that fighting is a way to solve problems, or that beating children is okay. This may be a culture. It sounds like a cultural difference. Yeah.
No, it's not. It's actually the Bible would do it.
Anything else like that, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. And the audience rejected it, bro. And again, bro, this was not selling in fucking comic books.
You know, so again,
This is suburban. Bro, all the stuff was in the first one. Man,
You're in the Matrix, man. Like, you're in the Matrix.
I'm a fucking nerd. Admit it. She hear me because I want to.
You keep going in that lane.
Yeah, she hear me now.
Yeah, you hear you.
Yeah, I'm trying to make this point before I land, and I'll sit out. But look, man, I'm
Okay, not just because you go. You get out just because you go doesn't mean I'm sure he goes to anybody who's taking his test.
It's a highly disciplined environment.
They knocked him all out. The point is that clearly he was allowed to do what he wanted, and should be saying where have you ever seen him take accountability, Norm? Where have you ever seen him take accountability for anything that he's done?